Why did I buy this house on a quarter-acre block 8 years ago, 9 years ago? Why have I just sold it? Well, there's the full moon there. I came on a full moon eclipse after passing through on my way to the Atherton Tablelands from the Beanie Festival one year and went, geez, what's that? Oh, someone's chopped down a tree. How very bizarre. Okay, so this is where he wants to put the... Anyway. This is the lemon tree that when I came had the tiniest lemons. And there was hardly any juice in them. And it's a bush lemon. And I watered it even before I bought it that January. Before I bought it in the March, I started watering. Because I had the block over there, behind those houses there. I had the half acre on the road that I was market gardening. So I started watering it, and you know, they didn't win a prize at the show, but they were good enough to put 3 into the Hughenden show. I reluctantly put this bougainvillea in, thinking, will it get enough water when I'm not here? And looks like it's just survived. I've just given it a whole heap. That's a rough pruning for you. I've just given it a bit of water, and I'll give it a bit more before I go. But that'll be a beautiful colour, and they do well in the dry country. But this poor old thing, she's ticking along. She's done another very reluctantly. Not many on the ground this year. Unless some of the townspeople came and picked them, but I doubt it. I did offer them to the people next door that are just on that corner there that they put in their own fruit trees, but of course they take a while to come good. So I'm just I picked a few off the ground, and a couple that'll just be enough for my breakfast. Lemon juice, not going to waste them. And there's a tap I had put in, because that's the bathroom there. So I put the external tap there, going through and up into there so that I could plumb in the bathroom. But of course it's leaking, as did all the other taps that a local man put in for me. And unfortunately, there's no tradies in this town. So you do as best you can. So yeah, that's the one chumpa they call them in India. What do they call them in Australia? Frangipani. Beautiful red frangipani that one is. And it's sprouted from the bottom now, and the top bit's dead. And this one here, pulled off a couple of dead ones yesterday, so it's coming out all the wrong shape. But that can be pruned back, and it'll come good again. And darling, you're getting a bit of dew now, are you? Just keep you ticking along. There's another lemon. There's another 2, but they're up high. So yeah, we've got to be grateful for the blessings that the Mother gives us, and always remember, ultimately, see, I left a rain tree coming up there, right next to it, which I don't know if it's helped it or hindered it, but this is one of the best things about this house, is the nice Queenslander opposite, not that horrible one, and the man that lives in it, and this beautiful gate here, and the 2 main gates. But look, then they add this crap to it. I'll just close that window, I'm not using that one. Anyway, here's the truck that I hired. And that's what I did yesterday. So organising that stuff there. It's just room to put the couch in that space there when I pile all this stuff in the proper places, and the mattress in there so that everything's consolidated. Bookshelf and mattress will go in there nicely. Fucking hell. A couple more chairs to go in and that's about it. So when I bought this little old house for $7,000, those windows were still in, but they fell out because all that from the door back to here, where that's falling off now, that's all eaten by white ants, which I didn't know, and I'd never lived in white ant country before, so I was unawares. But I wanted to buy the block next door. It was a double block, so that was the half-acre block. This was a quarter-acre block with a house. This had the water allocation, that did not, and I wanted those two acres, the half-acre there, so I could sell the one at the front and have my market garden block off the bloody road. But this mob came in and bought it. I had the 7, but I didn't have the 25, so I lost that. And anyway, they're a household of 7, so they've got 5 children out here. And this lovely big old mango tree has flowered again, and it's set a lot more fruit than I've seen in the past. But look, someone's tried to get rid of it and given that a good go. It's really old. It's probably an original tree from the original town, and look how hacked back it's been over the years. But that gives a lot of shade, you know. I can't believe what people want to do that. And I've let this grow. This was really small. This was about this big when it first started popping out, and I went, yeah, I'm going to leave that because that's also shade. But whoever comes along will probably hack that down or at least take a few branches off it. They can do what they like. Then this one came up, this wattly something, and I let that go, and this one as well. So that would put leaves in your gutters if you had gutters. But someone's dismantled the guttering. So there's that one hanging off there. There's one hanging off on the other side and the other side. There's no corner ones. There's nothing attaching it. And I bought this tank because I was going to build a carport. Well, I had a carport, but I was going to extend the carport, and I was going to put 600 litre tank in there, and I got the stand there, and that was supposed to come with me because it didn't get installed. And I bought I had to makeshift these because there was no stairs. Someone's dismantled the stairs. This dismantled the inside walls. But it's got a really good floor. And what I love best about this house is this roof. But, and the fact that there are no ceilings, which, you know, doesn't help with the, you know, insulating from the weather and everything like that. But anyway, and it doesn't lock. Someone's tried to come in the back door instead of just sliding it open. They've pushed it in. But I'm sure the guy that's just bought the house can deal with that. This would be a good decking, apart from someone's done a really bad job there that lasted for a certain amount of time. But when I got it 7 years ago, obviously needed redoing, and I couldn't get a tradie in to do that. So basically all these uprights need to come off, and a couple of those just blown away in the wind by the look of it. Because they're not anywhere around. Someone gave me these couple of couches, which is handy, and I painted the back there, all this one colour, because it was all green and white and all sorts of colours. So there's my water tank, 3,000 litre water tank that I'm trying to figure out how to install, and I sort of just got to the point where I knew how to do it. Didn't spend the money on the materials. The worst thing about this place is Telstra Tower, right next door. And one doesn't know if we're this close, maybe we're immune to the thing. And it's not, well, if it is 5G, are we immune to it, or are we closest to it? Because it's sort of beaming outwards, isn't it? But it's the noise that comes from what's behind there is the power. Something's running all the time. When I first got here after being at Topaz in the quiet rainforest, it was so noisy. It was just doing my head in. And it's all day, but then it stops at night. That's a leftover. That satellite dish is a leftover, and I let that rain tree grow. So that'll be a nice shady tree if they want to keep that in. Otherwise, they've got to dig that out. But happy full moon, everyone! It was in Aries on the Monday, and that's the day that I hired the truck. I got here on the Tuesday. I don't even want to go down the back and see what's going on down there, but okay, I'll just do it on the video. This is the path down to the septic. This is where I used to bring the car in. So that's that thing there. And wow, that's all the seeds on the ground from the rain tree. This is my little barbecue area. And I usually weed all this. My early morning job. This was my place where I was going to re-establish the... oh, that's come out of the ground. Now, that didn't fall out of the ground by itself, surely. Surely I didn't dug these in deep enough. Surely I would have dug that big one in deep enough. Poor darling. See, you're tipped up as well. Now that didn't tip up by itself. I always felt there was a bit of sabotage going on in this town, you know. A bit of a hippie girl like me comes in and does things differently, and she's sort of looked at as being, what the fuck, you know. What are you doing here? But, that car was running when I left, so it's just unregistered. There's no reason I couldn't put that back on the road. And I'm pretty sure I didn't leave that like that either. Looks like it's just sort of sticking out a bit. So, yeah, there's things here that I could use for my new place. But since I've got everything in storage and I have no land, so to speak, and the man I bought it from me said, it's all right, I'm not going to get down there for a while in Cooktown, just change over the title deeds, which means I'm not paying rates anymore. I'm paying about the same amount though in storage. So they weren't expensive rates, and it's not expensive storage, but it's a bit of a funny swap. Alright, so that's me. Just finishing off the last. See, I've put together stuff like this. Sink there for the kitchen, but nobody to help me do the work, and I thought I'd be alright about stuff. Now that's what I got to do this morning. I got to pick up that couch and put it in the truck, and then got to pick up the bed and put it in the truck. So that's where I've slept last 2 nights, and that's my goodbye. I don't come back here, so yeah, I'm leaving a lot of this stuff and just going to tidy up and sweep.